Never in doubt, Claude Giroux is coming home. I'm Ross Levitan alongside Brandon Piller providing initial reaction for Locked On Senators. Pillsy, the term is 3 years. It's $6.5 million annual average value. Your thoughts on the contract?
All right, Ross, now it's my turn.
Okay.
Claude Giroux is coming home. This is for real. Ross, you may need to rein me down off from soaring into the sun because I'm on cloud nine right now. I cannot believe the direction the Ottawa Senators are in. I cannot believe watching on TSN, having everyone on the panel be like, the Ottawa Senators are making the biggest splashes. The Ottawa Senators are in on Claude Giroux. The Ottawa Senators are putting together a playoff team. They have a top six, and everyone agreeing that the Sens are vibing. Sens fans are vibing. As Lalim's Martian would say, the streets are buzzing right now. It is an amazing day to be an Ottawa Senator. Welcome, Giroux. Welcome home.
And here is the money quote. Claude Giroux is just on TSN. He tells James Duthie, I wouldn't sign here if I didn't think we had a chance to win the Stanley Cup. I'm not saying we're going to win it this year, but the plan is to build on it and have baby steps towards that. Claude Giroux is the perfect fit in this Ottawa Senators team from the fact that he shoots right, which we know the Senators have a lot more left-handed shots, especially if they do end up moving on from Connor Brown. That's a conversation I'm sure we'll be having later on today, but also one of the best face-off men over the last decade in the National Hockey League. Where have the Sens struggled? In the face-off dot, bottom 10 in the National Hockey League over the last 4 seasons. There's a spot on Tim Stützle's right. Two very creative playmakers. If you go watch Giroux's highlight pack, now sometimes people just get the name recognition for it and they forget like exactly what they bring on the ice. Like these spinorama assists that he's pulling, the hockey IQ, I think, for Claude Giroux is his number one asset. And what does Timmy have? Hockey IQ and speed. Yes, Claude Giroux is a little bit slower than Timmy, and especially if it's Alex Formenton, but we'll assume it's Alex DeBrincat now moving into that slot. Those guys can be the speed, the puck retrieval in terms of Alex DeBrincat, but Claude Giroux, just a master at getting in the right spots in the offensive zone, and don't undersell his defensive abilities as well, not only in the faceoff circle, but this guy could be seen as a guy. Here, I'll use the quote that Pat Micheletti told us about Shane Pinto in college, but move that to the National Hockey League with Claude Giroux. He is a guy that you want on the ice in the final 2 minutes of a game, whether you're up a goal, tied, or down a goal. This guy is a complete game breaker, even at the age of 34.
Yeah, and the leadership qualities he's going to bring to two young guys. I've already got him, not in pencil, Ross, but in pen on a line with Tim Stützle and Alex DeBrincat. The leadership he's going to be able to bring to those guys, and you mentioned it, he's 34 years old. We got to call it like it is. He doesn't have the speed that those two guys will have, but when you have that vision and that hockey IQ, that he's going to know his role and what he needs to do to get those guys going and to allow them to cook. Like pretty much all Claude Giroux has to do is win the faceoff, get it to Thomas Chabot, head up ice, let Timmy get that pass. Then Timmy dishes it off to DeBrincat, and you got a goal, blow the whistle, blow the horn, drop the puck, do it again.
Unbelievable. Claude Giroux is a member of the Ottawa Senators. I just can't say that enough. And just the fact of what this means in a National Hockey League sense, that a stud free agent has decided that the Ottawa Senators are where he wants to spend. I don't even want to call it the twilight of his career. This guy had 65 points last season. He is still a very strong contributor in a top six. The President's Trophy winning team wanted to have him and had him in their top six. He had 22 points in 18 games there and then was 8 points in 10 games in the playoffs. This guy is still competing at an extremely high level, and that is without even taking into account the leadership ability that you're getting of a guy who will, in all certainty, have an A on his sweater on opening night.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's so big for Brady Tkachuk, for Thomas Chabot. Their entire careers in Ottawa, it's been them shouldering the pain and the frustrations of losing season after losing season, watching the carousel of old veterans just being shipped out, money being moved left, right, and center. Now they finally have some stability, and they have someone that can help them manage that stability, because it's one thing to put a good team together on paper, but it's another thing to play through an 82-game grind, get to the playoffs, and keep pushing. That's where Claude Giroux is really going to help these guys, is he's going to help them get through a grind that they have no experience in. And it's so valuable to have that. And for him to choose Ottawa is so incredible in a free agent setting, because he's at a point now, we've talked about this, Ross. He's got his money. He's not looking to make the biggest contract of his career. He has all the options in the world. If Drew's camp called any other team, they would be interested in trying to sign him. But I know he's the hometown guy and he's got a house here. That's a big part of it. But the fact that he sees Ottawa as a community, a place where he wants to continue to be in with his family, his wife and kids, and be a part of the community. The fact that the on-ice product is at a point where he can say, we might not win a cup this year, but I see the process and I see the baby steps we can take to getting there. And the fact that from an upper management style, him and his agent aren't saying, yeah, Ottawa makes a lot of sense, but man, it's going to be a nightmare dealing with the front office. That's not a case anymore. Usually with other free agents, it was a case of 1, 2, or even all 3 of those things hindering them from choosing Ottawa. Claude Giroux has chosen Ottawa because of all 3 of those things are trending in the right direction.
You just cannot understate the value that Claude Giroux brings to this Ottawa Senators team. He's ours, Sens fans, for the next 3 seasons. And if you listen to today's Locked On Senators, which I feel like might get lost a little bit in the shuffle, Pilsy, so we'll say it again here because, things aged rather quickly. They aged well, like a fine wine, but they aged quickly. My hot take, Claude Giroux currently sitting at 923 NHL points. I'm calling it. He gets 1,000 this season. That's a 77-point pace. That is high expectations, but with, what the expectations are as a team, you expect these players to take another step in the right direction. And, man, we talked about how great Sens Power Play 1 was last year.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm glad you got in this track. We can finally get excited about a second power play unit.
They cannot change anything from what was an elite first power play unit.
Well, you probably throw DeBrincat on that top power play.
Right, but
unit.
I'm saying they don't have to.
Yes,
they can. Yeah. But they didn't need DeBrincat last year. He just put the puck on Josh Norris's stick, and it's in the back of the net. So let's say they keep it that way. So you've got Norris with Tkachuk in front of the net, Batherson, Stützle, Shabbat. You've just added DeBrincat and Giroux and Jake Sanderson to a lesser extent. That you can have, that's 3/5 of a second power play unit.
Yeah, and I would put Mathieu Joseph on that second power play unit.
Let's ride.
Yeah. So
this is exciting times, man. And we can get into Claude Giroux kills penalties as well. This is a guy that you are getting an all facet type player. What do they say in football? A 5-tool player? That's what you're getting in Claude.
You got a 6-tool guy, because look at his off-ice leadership that he's bringing. And Ross, I know you're all hot about the points, and that's fine. I hope he hits it, but I'm not even that concerned about the points. Like you mentioned, the faceoffs, the leadership, his defensive game, the guy you want out on the ice when it's crunch time in a game. All those things that he brings, he doesn't even need to rack up big points for me to feel like this contract is justified. That's the beauty of it all, is there's so much more than just racking up points and getting on the stat sheet that matters for Claude Giroux coming into Ottawa.
Yes, sir. So, final thoughts, because we're about to go live here. Probably as this goes up, we're going to just have a live stream. We're going to vibe with the Sens Army. This is just how many trade deadlines, how many free agency periods where you're just like, all right, we're either spectators or we're farm teaming for the rest of the National Hockey League. Not anymore. The winds of change are here, and the summer of Dorian continues. We could be back for another breakdown, but join us in the live stream if you're just watching this right now over at Locked On Senators on YouTube. Claude Giroux is home. It's a 3-year contract, $6.5 million AAV. For more, you can join us on the Locked On Senators podcast, not only on YouTube, but follow on Twitter at Sens Central, and on Instagram, LockedOn.Senators. It's a Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.